to Seaboard Central, everyone, and part 3 of the pond series build. In this episode, we're going to address some vegetation along the edge of the backdrop, especially dealing with this corner. We'll be putting some trees in place to help soften it up. So without further ado, let's get started. So one of the first things I did was get some trees ready to go back into the scene. And if you haven't seen my video on how I improve ready-made trees, be sure to go back and look at some of the future videos where I make an out-of-the-box tree look a lot better by adding some few simple little things. And so what I did is I checked to see how many trees I'd need to go along that backdrop, and I got these pre-positioned and ready to go in place. And here's some other items that I'm going to use in this episode. And everything you see here can be purchased at scenicexpress.com. And they make a wide variety of this super leaf material. And here you see the different colors of green. Also Knock makes some. And these up here are their fall colors. And we're going to mix a blend of these to create some ground cover along with their leaf litter. In addition to that, there's some briar patch. This is the one by Scenic Express, and here's one by Woodland Scenics. And I'll show you how we can improve the look of that. Plus, there's super turf we can use to fill in some void areas. So just like I did my ballast, I've got an empty container here that I'm going to use to mix some of these leaves in. So I'll just pour some of these in. So each one. And with the lid on, I can shake them up to get a nice mixture of different leaves to go on the ground floor. So one of the first things I want to do is take my little alcohol spray bottle and just spray it down so that when I put the leaves on, they'll tend to stay put. What I've got is one of these little Woodland Scenics, this static grass applicator bottles. This got the little mesh wire, and it can just sprinkle this down like this. Just something like that. And next we'll add some of this leaf litter. To mix it in. Something just like that. All right, with that in place, I'll spray it down again with the alcohol, and I'll secure it with the Scenic Express glue and a pipette. A lot of this will end up being covered, but it's just another layer that you'll be able to see if you look really good enough. All right, the next thing we're going to do is install this briar patch. I'm going to put it right here in the back and just using a little bit of scenic glue to attach it. Do something just like that to fit it back in the seam. Now I'm grabbing one of these beautiful pine trees that were made by Sterling Models back in the day and are no longer in production. I'm going to put this one right in that corner since it's a fairly tall tree. Now, taking that Woodland Scenics briar patch, medium green, it's not as nice as the Scenic Express briar patch because it's basically just a flattened tree. But I broke it up into small pieces and I'll show you how I can improve the look of it. First thing I'm going to do is just take some cheap hairspray and just spray the whole thing really good. And then the next thing we're going to do is just take some of these different colored leaves and put on top of them. Like that was the dark one. This is more of a medium one. Much smaller. This is a lighter one. And you can see already how it improved the look. Made them look more like the vines. Now they're ready to go on the layout. So with some regular white glue, I'm just gonna go along the edge of the layout and start just piecing this in. I'll skip a little bit every now and then. To help vary the texture and the look, I'm going to add some of this Super Turf by Scenic Express. All I want to do is just go right along that bottom edge. Just a few of these. Now with it in place, I'll add a little bit more of the alcohol to the tops of it. And I can come back in with my super leaf and add a little more leaves on there to build that texture up. And I can go back in with my Scenic cement and just secure everything together. Next up, I'm going to go in and start placing my trees. I'm going to put them in groups. Especially groups of odd numbers. Tends to look better, so. group of 3 right there looks good together. Maybe we'll add another one of these over here. Maybe one about right in here. Looks good. How about we fill this one in right here? Push him down. We'll come back later and disguise the bottom of it. All right, you can already see how adding those trees that help soften up that hard edge and even the corner kind of makes it even hard to see the corner now. So I've got a couple of cypress trees that I'm going to plant along the edge of the pond. So now I'm just going in and adding a few more of those briar patches where I think that it would be growing. Something like that. And one last step is to just secure it all back down. Before we wrap this video up, we'll go back in with this dark earth Vallejo, which is basically mud. And we'll use an old brush and we'll help to tie those cypress trees in. And touch up the bottom of the pond. Have it coming up the side of the bank. You can see that it's added a different color and texture. All right, that's going to be a wrap for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed what we've done so far in this pond build. Next week, it'll be the finale. We'll add the water and add a lot more detail to the top of the bank here and help to tie everything in. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like and comment below. I read everyone. So until next week, thank you for watching and have a great day.